Every battle we face in life begins in the mind. Every fear, every doubt, every every feeling of weakness starts as a thought. The question is, will you let your mind control you, or will you train it to serve you? Your mind can be your greatest weapon, or it can be your worst enemy. But here's the truth. When you anchor your mind in Allah, when your thoughts are guided by faith, no challenge can ever truly break you. The first step is awareness. Notice your thoughts. Pay attention to the inner dialogue that plays on repeat in your mind. Are you saying, I can't do this? Or are you reminding yourself, with Allah, nothing is impossible? Every thought is a seed. Plant doubt, and doubt will grow. Plant faith, and faith will flourish. This is not just psychology. This is a spiritual principle. When you consciously choose your thoughts, you begin to shape your reality. Next is discipline. Just like a muscle, your mind grows stronger with training. The Prophet taught us the power of patience, reflection, and remembrance. Make dhikr a part of your daily routine. When anxiety strikes, turn to Allah. When fear rises, recite His names. When despair knocks, remind yourself of His mercy. Mental resilience isn't about ignoring life's difficulties. It's about confronting them with the strength that comes from knowing Allah is with you. Visualization is another tool. Close your eyes and imagine victory over your struggles. See yourself rising above every fear, overcoming every obstacle, and standing firm in faith. Feel the confidence, the calm, the unwavering certainty that Allah is your supporter. Rehearse success in your mind before it appears in your life. This is how warriors are made, not by avoiding battles, but by preparing their minds for them. Remember, setbacks are not punishments. They are lessons. Every failure, every heartbreak, every disappointment is training for your mind. Do not let frustration take root. Ask Allah to give you patience, clarity, and perseverance. When you face difficulty with this mindset, you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You become the master of your destiny. Lastly, embrace surrender, not defeat, but surrender to Allah's plan. Trust that He is molding you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever imagined. When your mind is anchored in faith, no criticism, no betrayal, no fear can shake you. You become unbreakable because the one who holds the universe is holding you. Train your mind daily. Guard your thoughts. Feed them with positivity, faith, and remembrance of Allah. This is how you become unstoppable. This is how you win every battle, not just in the world, but within yourself. You are stronger than your fears, more capable than your doubts, and infinitely more resilient when you place your trust in Allah. Every battle begins in the mind. Long before any challenge reaches your hands, your thoughts decide the outcome. The first step toward winning is awareness, truly noticing the conversation that constantly plays inside your head. So often we let fear, doubt, and negative self-talk dictate our choices without even realizing it. I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. This will never work out. These are not just thoughts. They are chains we place around ourselves. But the power to break those chains is within you, because Allah has given you a mind capable of incredible strength, resilience, and clarity. Awareness is not merely observing your thoughts. It is choosing which ones to nurture and which ones to discard. Just as a gardener does not allow weeds to take over his garden, you must not allow fear and doubt to overrun your mind. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause, reflect, and replace it with a thought grounded in faith. Remind yourself that Allah is with you, that no challenge comes without His wisdom, and that you are capable of rising above every difficulty. This awareness transforms ordinary thinking into conscious decision-making. It allows you to see patterns in your fears, to understand the triggers of your stress, and to respond rather than react. Awareness also means understanding the fleeting nature of thoughts. Not every anxious thought is reality, and not every fear is a prophecy of failure. By simply observing them, you reduce their power over you. You can begin to ask, is this thought serving me, or is it holding me back? And in doing so, you shift from being a passive participant in your mind to being an active trainer of it. Your awareness becomes a shield against despair and a bridge toward courage. And as you strengthen this habit, you'll notice that challenges no longer intimidate you in the same way. Your mind becomes your ally rather than your adversary, and your thoughts begin to align with the strength and wisdom that Allah has placed inside you. The battles outside become easier because the battles inside have already been won. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. And when it comes to training your mind, there is no substitute for consistency. Mental strength is not something that happens overnight. It is built through small, intentional actions repeated daily. One of the most powerful tools you have is the remembrance of Allah. When you fill your day with dhikr, prayer, and reflection, you are not simply performing rituals. You are actively training your mind to stay focused, calm, and resilient. The act of turning to Allah during moments of stress rewires your brain to see clarity rather than panic, patience rather than despair, and trust rather than doubt. Discipline also requires guarding what enters your mind. The books you read, the content you watch, the conversations you engage in, all of these shape your thoughts, your energy, and your focus. Surround yourself with positivity, knowledge, and reminders of Allah's mercy, and you will find your mind responding with strength instead of weakness. Discipline is also about persistence when it feels hard. There will be days when focus wanes, when distractions seem louder than your intentions, and when the weight of challenges tempts you to give up. It is precisely in these moments that mental training matters most. By showing up for your daily habits, by choosing to remember Allah in the midst of chaos, you send a message to your subconscious mind: I am in control, I am resilient, I will not be broken. Over time, these repeated actions transform into a mindset that cannot be easily shaken. When fear comes, you have trained your mind to respond with faith. When anxiety strikes, you have trained your mind to return to remembrance. When doubt appears, you have trained your mind to hold firm and trust. This is not mere discipline. This is the forging of mental armor, a mind conditioned to withstand trials and emerge stronger. And the beauty of this is that every act of discipline connects you to something greater than yourself, Allah. With Him as your anchor, your mind does not rely solely on willpower. It is fortified by divine support. Each act of discipline strengthens not just your mental capacity, but also your connection to Allah, creating a mind that is unbreakable, focused, and victorious in every battle it faces. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you have to shape your reality, because the mind cannot easily distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. When you train your mind to see success before it happens, you are laying the foundation for victory in every challenge. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing firm in faith, calm in the face of fear, and confident in your ability to overcome obstacles. Feel the courage running through your veins, the clarity in your thoughts, and the unwavering certainty that Allah is guiding you. When you visualize yourself succeeding, you are not just dreaming, you are preparing your mind to act with purpose and focus. This preparation strengthens your mental resilience because the brain begins to accept the imagined success as a possibility, creating neural pathways that reinforce confidence and determination. Visualization also helps you confront fear without being overwhelmed by it. You imagine yourself facing a difficult situation, you mentally rehearse your response, equipping yourself with composure, patience, and reliance on Allah. By repeatedly picturing victory, you reduce anxiety and hesitation when the real moment arrives, because your mind has already seen the path forward. Another key aspect of visualization is aligning it with intention and action. Seeing success is not enough if it is not paired with effort. Imagine yourself praying with sincerity, taking purposeful steps, and trusting in Allah while actively working toward your goals. This combination of vision, faith, and action creates a mental framework that turns challenges into opportunities and obstacles into stepping stones. Over time, visualization becomes more than a mental exercise. It becomes a mindset. You begin to anticipate success, expect positive outcomes, and act in ways that are consistent with your faith and goals. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before, making decisions with clarity, and responding to difficulties with wisdom rather than panic. Visualization, grounded in faith, transforms your mind from a space of worry into a space of power, courage, and strategy. It trains you to act with confidence, endure trials with patience, and trust that Allah's guidance is shaping every step. By repeatedly practicing this mental rehearsal, you prepare yourself for every battle, ensuring that when challenges arise, your mind is already equipped with the strength, focus, and unshakable belief that you will not only survive, but triumph. Setbacks are not signs of failure. They are the most powerful tools Allah uses to shape your mind, refine your character, and strengthen your spirit. Every disappointment, heartbreak, and challenge carries a lesson that cannot be learned any other way. The mind often wants to run from difficulty, to label it as unfair or unbearable, but true mental strength comes from confronting setbacks with awareness, patience, and reliance on Allah. When something doesn't go according to plan, instead of spiraling into regret or self-blame, pause and reflect. Ask yourself what this moment is teaching you, how it is refining your patience, or what insight it is offering for the next step. Every failure is a test, not of your worth, but of your perseverance, your mindset, and your trust in Allah's wisdom. Life is filled with circumstances beyond your control, and yet your response is entirely within your power. By choosing to view challenges as lessons rather than punishments, you shift from a mindset of victimhood to a mindset of mastery. This perspective trains your mind to stay calm when the unexpected happens, to remain hopeful when outcomes are uncertain, and to act with clarity rather than panic. Setbacks also teach gratitude, because they reveal how much you take for granted during smooth times, and they deepen your reliance on Allah, reminding you that true strength is not in controlling every situation, but in trusting the one who does. The mind that sees lessons in difficulty becomes unshakable. Obstacles no longer feel like insurmountable walls. They become stepping stones that lead to greater resilience, wisdom, and courage. Every time you endure disappointment with patience, your confidence grows. Every time you overcome a challenge with trust in Allah, your fear diminishes. Your mindset evolves into one that anticipates trials not with dread, but with determination. You begin to understand that setbacks are temporary, lessons are eternal, and growth is inevitable when you anchor your mind in faith. In this way, life's most painful moments become the very moments that train you to rise higher, think clearer, and act stronger. The battles you face, both internal and external, are no longer capable of defeating you because you have trained your mind to see beyond the immediate struggle, to recognize the hidden wisdom, and to trust that Allah is shaping you into someone resilient, courageous, and unstoppable. Surrender is often misunderstood as weakness, but true. Surrender is the highest form of strength. It is the conscious decision to release control over what you cannot change while placing complete trust in Allah, the one who knows all, sees all, and commands all. The mind that practices surrender is not passive. It is actively choosing to align itself with divine wisdom, finding peace even in uncertainty, and courage even in the face of trials. Surrender begins with acceptance, accepting that life will not always follow your plans, that people will sometimes disappoint, and that challenges will arise that are beyond your ability to control. This acceptance does not mean giving up. It means choosing not to waste mental energy, resisting what Allah has decreed. When you embrace surrender, your mind becomes lighter, freer, and more focused. You stop exhausting yourself trying to control every outcome and instead invest your energy into what truly matters: your actions, your intentions, and your reliance on Allah. Mental unbreakability is built when surrender becomes a daily practice. Each time a challenge comes and you consciously choose to trust Allah's plan, your mind strengthens, your fears diminish, and your resilience grows. Surrender also allows clarity to emerge. When the mind is no longer clouded by frustration, anger, or desperation, you can see the solutions, opportunities, and lessons that were always there, but hidden behind emotional turbulence. You begin to understand that Allah's plan is always greater than your own, and that every trial, every obstacle, and every delay carries a wisdom meant to shape you into someone stronger and wiser. The surrendering mind does not quit. It adapts, persists, and thrives under pressure because it is anchored in faith. When fear or anxiety arises, it does not dominate your thoughts. Instead, you remind yourself that the one who sustains the universe is guiding your steps. This mindset transforms every battle into a chance to grow, every hardship into a moment of spiritual refinement, and every setback into preparation for a greater victory. Surrender is not defeat, it is empowerment, because a mind trained to trust Allah fully is unstoppable, resilient, and unshakable. When you surrender without hesitation, you are no longer a prisoner of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. You are mentally unbreakable, grounded in faith, and ready to rise above any trial with courage, patience, and unwavering trust. Mental training is not a one-time effort. It is a daily commitment. Every thought you allow, every habit you cultivate, and every moment you spend in reflection either strengthens your mind or weakens it. To become mentally unbreakable, you must treat your mind as you would a precious instrument, tending to it with care, discipline, and consistency. Feed it with positivity, with knowledge, and with reminders of Allah's mercy and wisdom. Guard it against negativity, gossip, doubt, and unnecessary distractions that cloud your focus and drain your energy. Each day presents an opportunity to reinforce resilience, to replace fear with faith, and to transform challenges into stepping stones. The mind that is trained daily becomes like armor. It is prepared, alert, and resilient, ready to face difficulties without crumbling under pressure. This training is not only about avoiding negative thoughts, but also about intentionally nurturing faith, hope,